Thank you to the chairman. Mr. Mazer, sorry about that. In response to a question earlier, you said we could make the tax system more fair by making it progressive?
It already is progressive, making it more progressive.
Okay. That's the point I wanted to clarify. In fact, I'd like to enter into the record a report from the Joint Committee on Taxation, Mr. Chairman.
So ordered.
This is from 2018, and this report identifies the U.S. tax system as the most progressive in the developed world. You agree, generally?
I'm not going to quarrel with JCT since I used to work there.
Okay, yeah. So I think it's important we establish that, because if I had listened to your answer and not had more context, I'd have thought that the individuals on the lower economic scale are paying a higher percentage than lower. But I'll give you some numbers in here.
Okay.
And your point of excluding payroll taxes is a good one, because they pay payroll taxes. But without payroll taxes, the bottom 50% are paying minus 0.6%, minus 0.6.
In that year, perhaps, yeah.
What's that?
In that year, perhaps, yeah.
Yeah, minus 0.6. Because of the refundable tax credits, they're literally getting money back rather than paying it. That's the bottom 50%. Now, with payroll taxes, to your point, their average rate, according to JCT, is 6.3%, compared to the top 0.1% are paying on average 33% of their taxes. So it's the most.
Interestingly, though, if you were to break that top 10th even finer, so like the Treasury Department used to put out the top 400, and now they put out maybe the top 0.001%. But basically, the top sliver pays less than the top 1%. So it kind of goes down at the top end.
They don't have that on here, but, I'm willing to look at that.
You could ask.
It'd be interesting. But one of the statistics that they list on here is that the top 0.01%, top 0.1% pay 30% average federal income tax rate. Well, I'm sorry, I just made this point. While the bottom 50% is less than zero. Here's the point I wanted. Separate research, and this is from the Tax Policy Center, which is sort of a liberal leaning. Okay, yeah, you worked at all of them. They say, research, that the top 1% of income earners shoulder 25% of all federal taxes paid, in contrast to 53 million households in the U.S. that pay nothing at all. And in fact, 6 out of 10 households actually receive more in direct government benefits than they pay into the system. Again, just want to be sure that we understand what we're working with here. And the point about the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act making the system benefit more for higher income earners is false. No. Because CBO in 2021, and I'd like to enter this into the record as well. This is a 2021 report by CBO. And they state that the provisions of the 2017 Tax Act reduced the total estimate of benefits from income tax expenditures by 9%. And on net, those provisions made the distribution of tax expenditures more progressive, because most of the benefits reduced by the Tax Act would have accrued to households in the highest quintile. So we started with the most progressive, according to JCT, of developed countries, and we made it even more progressive with the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act.
I'm going to have to quarrel with CBO on that. You might want to look at the Tax Policy Center's work that was done on the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act. I think they come to a somewhat different conclusion. And it really depends on the time frame you look at. Sure. It depends on, because the individual ones expire. And it depends on what you do with the corporate income tax.
Yeah, I'm just telling you what CBO said in their report. They said that our tax structure got more progressive after the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act. But Mr. Coleman, I was a small business owner myself, understand the impact of tax policy and the benefits of growing a business. And I've heard from so many small businesses in my area who benefited from the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act. And I'm not talking about the top 1% or top 1/10%. I'm talking about people who maybe they had 10,000 more in their pocket at the end of the year that they could reinvest back into the business, grow jobs, and so on. And just wondered, what's the top provision that you hear about? What are some of the things that you hear about that have been most beneficial? And then how concerned are you about some of those provisions expiring?
Sure. Yeah, what we call the small business deduction, Section 199A, the 20% deduction for pass-through businesses, it had a great benefit for small business owners, NFIB members. 91% of them support making it permanent. 81% thinks it's very important. And just a quick example is a Pennsylvania business owner, David Cranston Jr. of Cranston Material Handling Corporation, said it is only a couple employees, but he said in real terms, this means I will be able to keep between $1,200 and $2,500 a quarter in my business that I would otherwise have paid in taxes. The ability to keep $5,000 or $10,000 in a year in my company is a big deal to a small business owner like me. Moreover, the cumulative effect over several years is substantial. They allowed him and millions of other businesses like him to be in a better position to take advantage of opportunities, grow, and improve. They're going to take
Thank you. I know I'm way out of time. Thank you for your indulgence, Mr.
Go from